eating that entire contract kind of makes us locked in with McMahon, and we can't really move him. Nobody really wants to pay Ryan McMahon $16 million. We could salary dump him maybe. I posted on Twitter a couple days ago. Matt Shaw from the Cubs. Cubs just lost their front end guy, Cade Horton, for the entire season. So maybe we could trade some of our pitching that we have for Matt Shaw, and he can kind of guy that fills that role. But
Yeah, you
then
would have
that
to
kind of
dump McMahon
blocks
too. I don't mind
that.
take. I don't mind the idea of trying Matt Shaw, but like you have to get rid of McMahon somehow if you're gonna do that, and that's
Mm-hmm.
gonna be really hard to do. And yeah, you made a good Cubs point because the Yankees have some 4A guys in like AAA that maybe could be major leaguers that we don't know yet because their roster's so
Mm-hmm.
deep. Like Elmer, Granhe, and Hess potentially there, but like Hess is only in AA, so. I don't think that would happen, but I like where your head's at. Like I understand the
Mm-hmm.
thought process there. But like, yeah, I don't know, cause like McMahon, he's not like what they thought he would be. He's his bat is just anemic. He strikes out too much, and even his defense. I mean, I think his defense will probably be fine, but he's probably taking his offense into the field now because of how bad he's been. It's very hard not to take your offense into the field when you're playing that poorly, because that's
Yeah,
just like unwatchable hitting what he's put together.
yeah. Baseball is such a mental sport. People get in their heads all the time. The best defenders could sometimes be your worst defender on the team, and that's why your best hitter is probably going to be your worst hitter for about 2 weeks in the season. And I remember Judge being our worst hitter for
Hey,
for a couple
Steve.
weeks in last year's season.
Thanks for popping in, bro. We appreciate you. Looking forward to crossing up some content really soon. Maybe as soon as tomorrow. We'll keep everyone posted there. But yeah, no, like it's been KMA. Yeah, tough one, brother. It's yeah, today was tough. So like yeah, let me try to look through some pitching matchups for the weekend to see what we could expect. Because you said Mats versus, so we got Mats versus Heel tomorrow, and then Saturday we have who's going Saturday? It should be Cam Saturday then I would think. Oh no, Saturday's Max Free versus Nick Martinez. You would think the Yankees should win that game. Sunday is then it's gonna be Cam probably versus McClanahan, which could be in the Yankees' favor with this version of Shane McClanahan. Tomorrow's going to be the toughest one because you don't know what you're getting from Luis Hill. And Steven Matz is like tricky because sometimes he can get shelled, but other times he'll be decent. So like you just have to see how it's going to go. But the Yankees need to take 2 out of 3 the rebounds after its disappointing series loss. I'm not expecting a sweep, but like they need to at least win the series and show that they're going to play better in the division because that's a good point right there. They were horrible in the AL East last year, horrendously bad,
Hmm.
and if they do that again this year, that's going to cost them the division down the line. Because if you think about what cost them the AL East last year, it was really how bad they were in the AL East. They were
Hmm.
terrible, especially against Boston and the Red Sox. I mean, Boston and the Blue Jays. I don't know what the record was against Tampa and Baltimore, but I know they lost a few games against Baltimore that you wanted back, probably, but they did beat them mostly the end of the year. Tampa Bay Rays, I think they were pretty good against, but are you checking?
Yeah.
All right, yeah. So I think they need to win 2 out of 3. Tomorrow's going to be the toughest game. There'll be a lot of Yankee fans though because it's in Tampa, so that might help them a little bit. But the Trop is obviously very difficult and annoying to playing as a visitor with all the rules, the catwalks, the vantage points, like the sight lines. Like it's not a fun place to play baseball. So the Yankees just got to try to handle business. Boone's already talking about DH and Judge a day. That means Stanton's not playing a day. So if I had to guess, Stanton's probably off Saturday with the righty pitching, and he'll probably play against the lefties. Judge will probably DH that day on Saturday, and we'll probably see a lot of goals, Grichuk and Rosario again.
Yeah. So the Yankees were 27-25 against AL East opponents last year. Yeah,
Terrible.
and it's an above 500 record. But when you're the best team in your division, and
That's not
well,
good.
they weren't the best team in the division. It was the Blue Jays
Well,
last
they were
year.
right
But
there.
yeah, yeah, they were right there with the Blue Jays. You can't lose that many games you did against Boston. You can't lose that many games you did against
Do you
Toronto.
have the team
Obviously,
by team over
Toronto.
there?
I'll get it up.
I know Blue Jays and Red Sox were train wrecks, so I don't even need to know the numbers. I know they were bad.
Oh yeah.
I know the Orioles, they did pretty well, and then the Tampa Bay, they did pretty well. But I'm sure they had a winning record against those two. They had to have because they had losing records against the other two. So like, I'm curious to see
Um,
exact. Go ahead.
9-4 against the Rays.
That's good.
Um, 9-4 against the Orioles,
That's good.
and then
That shows how bad they were
Red
against the other two. Huh.
Sox. They were 4-9 against the Red Sox.
Huh.
I don't know if this is counting playoffs. And
I
then the
don't
Blue
think
Jays
so.
is just horrible.
There must have been 3 wins,
The Blue Jays,
right?
oh my God.
Like 3-10.
Oh, 5-8 against the Blue Jays.
Yeah, so really bad all the way around against the top tier
Yeah,
teams. The 9-4s are fine against both teams because like it's division games. It's tough to be better than 9-4. But like the damage was done against Toronto and Boston, really. And then like you probably want one of those games back, I'm sure, against Tampa and Baltimore too. Because I know Devin Williams blew a game against Tampa. I
I
know.
think Devin Williams flew like 14. I remember that Devin Williams blown save. That was really bad.
Yeah, the Tampa one was brutal. It was like telegraphed too. It was so weird. Like we all saw it
Was
coming as it was
was that
happening.
on the Max Fried almost no hitter start?
No, it's a different day. It's
No.
Williams blew the game at night. Freed's almost no hitter was during the day. I
Yeah.
remember.
Yeah.
So like yeah, so that was tough. But let's go around the league really quick. We hit enough Yankees points here. The Tigers are really struggling right now. They lost again to
Yep.
Minnesota today. They go down. They're 4-9 the start of the year. Definitely didn't expect this after bringing back most of their team and adding around the edges. I mean, it's too early in the year to hit the panic button, but their offense has been really non-existent. They have 5 hits today. Riley Green had a double, but losing a series to the Twins is not what you want to do. Obviously, they're in last place in the AL Central, which is very surprising to me. And I think that I know they're going to get better. I know they lost Verlander. Scooble even gave up more than 4 runs, 4 runs plus for the first time in like 50 starts. So a lot of funky stuff going on in Detroit. But McConaughey's still playing well.
Yeah, they've lost 5 games in a row. McConaughey's kind of been their best player, which has to be a good feeling for the Tigers. But you don't want that. You want guys like Riley Green, Kerry Carpenter. You
Yeah.
want like Colt Keith,
Yeah,
Gleyber
Carbon
Torres.
Cole's actually been playing really well, but he's hitting 350 right now. But Kerry and Riley have been rough. Torkelson's been rough. Glaber hasn't been that good. Valdez was not good the other day. He started the year good, but he's been going backwards too. Like I think they'll
Hmm.
be okay, but it's not looking so good for them right now. And they're playing a weak division, so they have some leeway here to figure it out. Although the
Uh,
Guardians have been good with DeLauer leading the way a little bit, they're kind of up to their old tricks again. So we'll see if they can last.
and then Mets are 7-5.
Yes,
Uh,
today's a big swing game for the Mets.
yeah. Luis Robert has been very good. He looks like he's back, but obviously you can't really say that on April 9th.
I like the matchup for him today too because he gets Aguado Rodriguez and he kills lefties.
Against
And I'm like,
Eduardo Rodriguez.
Aguado Rodriguez is due to give up some runs. He's been lights out since the WBC though. I don't know what happened with him, but he looks like a different pitcher all of a sudden because he was cooked for a while. Now he looks like his old self again somehow.
I think it was the WBC, dude. I thought Team USA was about to score like 10 runs off, and then they just completely got shut out by him.
Yeah, those
But
last 2 games for their offense was terrible. Like they just had nothing going on there.
yeah,
But like, yeah. So I think the Mets could take it tonight. They have no one but clean pitching, so I think they have a good shot tonight. We'll see how
yeah,
that
and
goes though.
they're going a complete righty-heavy lineup. They're gonna have Lindor leading off, Bo Bichette batting second, Luis Robert batting third, Mark Vientos batting fourth, Marcus Semien batting fifth, Francisco Alvarez batting sixth, Brett Beatty and seven, Luis Torrens and Tyrone Taylor rounding out the order. So it's one lefty in the lineup today.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna try to watch because I haven't really seen too many Mets games besides the first one against the Pirates. So I definitely want to see what's going on with that. I think it's the D-backs, like we said, their pitching is kind of not that great, even though Erod's been really good. Yankees swept walk today. They had Tampa and warm weather on the brain. It looked like it, unfortunately. Although, and they're playing inside too. So They always like going to Tampa though, because that's where the facilities are. Juan Soto misses Judge. I think he misses playing right now because he's hurt, but he'll be back soon. Obviously, they're gonna miss him a lot. I think Bo would have a good game tonight against Erod. Maybe he's like 2 bombs off him, so maybe. But Chet's got to get going a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm sure he'll be good though. So like White Sox and Royals are playing in Kansas City. Both teams are Royals are 5-7. White Sox are 4-8. The Padres and Rockies are both 6-6. Surprised by the Rockies' hot start. They just swept the Astros, which is crazy. Even though I know the Astros aren't the same, it's still wild to me.
And you know who's leading them?
It's Rumfield,
Yeah.
partially. Yeah.
Rumfield's been their best player so far.
Yeah, no, I
He's batting
think.
370.
Yeah, it's good. Let's see how long he cooks. Colorado's the perfect spot for him, apparently. I think then he's getting the runway, so he's gonna get a lot. He's gonna get a long leash. That's cool. So that's good. He finally made it to the show. The Yankees were, and the guy the Yankees traded for, Savelli, is still in the minors. Does he come back into the equation at all at once or at any point? But they can't do that now because of the situation with Luis Hill. So I don't know, but I mean, you can't say it's a bad trade because the Yankees had no space for TJ Rumfield, but
Yeah.
it wasn't a good trade.
I mean, they Rule 5'd him. They Rule 5'd him, and nobody picked him up.
Which is kind of surprising to me because I thought someone would have took him.
Yeah. Yeah. It was very weird. He had a very good player savant page, so I was very questionable on
Soon, yeah.
just like
Soon.
obviously he was going to get traded after not being picked up in the Rule 5, and you can't really say it was a bad trade because he was Rule 5'd, and the people saying it was a bad trade wouldn't have been saying it was a bad trade if he got Rule 5.
No, it wasn't we're not too much longer. It wasn't a bad trade because there was no space for him to play because Ben Rice is the first baseman, and they made the decision. So, like, what were you going to do with TJ? There was nothing to do with them. He had to go to a different team to get the opportunity. Could you have gotten more for him if you didn't wait 2 years? I mean, maybe, I don't know, but like they waited a while. He got his shot, and now he's taking advantage of it, and it's good on him. And we'll see how long it keeps going. Yeah, the Rockies are interesting. I'm not saying they're going to be great, but maybe they won't be as bad as people thought. I guess we'll have to see how that works out.
Yeah, I mean, they have actual hitters.
Tovar, Goodman, Mondiak's playing well.
TJ, obviously, Willie Castro.
Yep.
Like, they have actual hitters. Mickey Moniak had a breakout season last year.
Yeah, and I've always been into Tovar. He had a good WBC too, so that's another guy that's using his WBC springboard a little bit. But yeah, we'll wrap up soon. The Dodgers are still the Dodgers at 9-3, so nothing's changing with them. Although I think they lost to the Blue Jays recently, and the Blue Jays salvaged that series. Let me just check the AL East standings before we get going. The Pirates are playing kind of well too. Actually, they're off to a decent start.
Yeah, I mean, their offseason was very, very good. It was a very underrated offseason because they had some of the best pitching in baseball last year.
Yeah, Mitch Keller's going off right now, too.
They added a lot of heavy hitters offensively. Like, guys like Marcell Ozuna, who's obviously struggling so hard right now, can be a pretty good bat in that lineup. Brian Reynolds still needs to kind of bounce back offensively from what he was in the past couple
Yeah, that's
years.
what I'm still questioning. I don't know if that's there anymore.
Yeah, Brandon Lau's one of the best second basemen in baseball.
Absolutely love Lau, yeah.
Ryan O'Hearn's been really good since getting traded to the Padres and now on the Pirates.
Yeah, Skeens threw a good game too the other day for the Pirates, and like I'll go through the divisions really quick. So the Guardians are leading the AL Central. We kind of went through the Tigers mess over there. They just have to start hitting better, a little better starting pitching in certain situations. The bullpen, they got to go figure it all out. Rangers are leading the West at 7-5. They shut out the Mariners yesterday. Mackenzie Gore's looked good for the Rangers.
Very good pickup by the Rangers, by the way.
Yeah, underrated, I think. So the Mariners have been scuffling too. Them and the Tigers are both 4-9, and these are two teams I thought would be very high in the American League pecking order. They're not playing that well right now. So they both have to get it going. The Mariners' offense has been dreadful.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really worry me at all that the Mariners are struggling, like, mainly because, actually doesn't, because Cal Raleigh isn't going to hit 60 home runs.
Yeah, it's still going to be different this year. We'll do have Brendan Donovan to help pick up some of that slack with other areas. So
I think Brendan Donovan is going to be a very. It's. I think that's going to be one of their best players
I think he
this
has
year.
three
Could be.
bombs already. He wasn't even a big power hitter, but he's been going off for them.
Yeah, I mean, he's a guy that'll just get on base behind all those power hitters in
Yeah.
that lineup.
NL Central, you got the Brew Crew at 8-4. The Reds are 8-5. Pirates 7-5. Cardinals 7-5. Cubs 6-6. That's not going to last at the bottom there, but the Cardinals are playing okay right now. But before we go, we'll do the ALE standings check. 12 games through the season, so here we are. It's way too early ALE update. Oh yeah, but that's gonna be our departure. Yeah. All right, I'm bringing it up now. All right, well there we are. 2 games up on the Orioles, despite the 2 losses. The Orioles have been back to 500 now. Actually, I don't know if they've been 500 all year, but they are now. Tampa Bay is 3-7, so they come in 3 games back. And then the Blue Jays have been scuffling, but they did salvage that game against the Dodgers, so they're 5-7. Boston's been really bad, but still only 4 games out, 4-8, so early in the year. Then they did win their last game against Milwaukee as well. So some of these teams are starting to play better. The Yankees are starting to play worse. So we'll see. Will the Yankees still be in first by this time next week? Only time will tell.
Yeah, and I have a question for you before we round off.
Yeah, go ahead, bro. What's up?
How do you think the Blue Jays will
I'll get
do
rid
this
of it.
year after losing guys like Cody Ponce and Alec Alejandro Kirk and maybe George Springer taking a step back offensively than what he was last season? How do you think the Blue Jays will do this season?
I think they're going to scrap their way into a wild card. Maybe they might not be the top of the division, but I think they have a lot of good guys in that room still. Like Okamoto's going to help them. They're going to have to make some trades at the deadline. Obviously, the mask for all these injuries they weren't to account for. But the one thing the Blue Jays are willing to do is be aggressive and spend money. So like we've seen them do it. I think they're going to try their best to fill some of the deficiencies. Obviously, they are going through horrifically bad luck right now, but they are getting Savage, Berrios, and Bieber back. So they will be better than they are now. Their offense might not be quite the same, though, to your point. I just think the American League is so bad right now that I would be shocked if the Blue Jays aren't one of the 6 teams that make the playoffs. I think there's only 3 teams over 500. I think it's just Yankees, Rangers, and Guardians right now. Pretty sure. So, yeah, I mean, that's a good question, bro. Like, so we're gonna probably try to do something tomorrow, I think, for the game live or something.